Hey YouTube land, Tycondrius here, doing another action figure review, and as you can guess, it is for another G.I. Joe, and it's a Cobra figure, and this is the G.I. Joe Super 7 Wave 2 Baroness figure. So this is the first Baroness figure. Technically there is 4, or will be 4, but if you're really fan of the series, it's more of 3 and a Argentinian, I think it was Argentinian release of Red Knock, which you reused the Baroness mold from way back in the day. But this is what you get from Super 7, the standard mailer box. You get her standard blue box for the Cobra, with the Cobra logo. You have the Baroness dog tag with the intelligence officer, and then when you slip open the box, you have the actual figure displayed inside, if you have it already displayed inside, but mine's over here to the corner. And you have a write-up for the Baroness on the back. On the back of the box, you were treated to the bio for the character. So you have Baroness Intelligence Officer, Primary Military Specialist, Intelligence Secondary Military Specialist, Fixed Wing Pilot, which is a nod to the Cobra Claw, I believe, because that was one of the earliest vehicles for the line. So it was a fixed wing glider sort of thing, so that was the fixed wing pilot. Birthplace classified: a spoiled offspring of a wealthy European aristocrat, the Baroness graduated from student radicalism into international terrorism and finally into the ranks of Cobra. She was severely burned during a Cobra night attack operation and has had extensive plastic surgery. Rumor has it that she is the only one who knows Destro's secret identity. Qualified expert M16, AK-47, RPG-7, Uzi Hiss tank operator. Her principal weakness is in the division of her loyalty between Cobra Commander and Destro. Her chief strength would seem to lie in her ability to play them against each other. And then you got images of Baroness from the cartoon. So moving on aside, this is the early version Baroness from the cartoon. So if you're not familiar with this look, this is kind of how she first appeared in the cartoon, in this almost Cobra blue with yellow motif. So it's not the traditional black with the Cobra logo on her chest and kind of more armored suit. She had a more kind of military not military uniform, but she had a more non-armored look in the very first kind of appearance. And she also had the green glasses as opposed to the clear glasses that she's more traditionally known for. Now the figure does come with an alternate head with those kind of more traditional glasses. I think these are supposed to be a nod to her original action figure, because there is a few bits in here that are more akin to her action figure than from the cartoon, and we'll get into that in a minute. So I'm going to go through her articulation first with her kind of default standard head. So this is the default standard head, I believe. Yeah, the other one has a slight smirk. They almost look the same, but if she can rotate her arm all the way around and move out to the side. She has the bicep swivel. She only has single jointed elbows, and then she has a wrist swivel with hinge. She has mine's a little wobbly on mine. As you can see, she has a waist articulation and a diaphragm joint, and then she has splits, kick forward, thigh swivel, single jointed knee. There is a boot cut, and then she has the rocker ankles, and she does have peg holes. The pegs are actually at the front of the feet. Now Super 7 have done actually quite a good job in this. They've actually managed to get a decent enough figure with high heels, because she's wearing some sort of high heel that can stand pretty well. Normally figures with kind of high heels are usually quite hard to stand, so you do get an issue with that. She does come with not 1, not 2, but 3 alternate heads, as I showed off the first one. So she comes with this one, which is a nod to her original action figure, because she has the more rounder glasses and she doesn't have the bright red lipstick. She has more neutral kind of lipstick. Then she has a similar version of her existing head, or her first head, which has a kind of smirk, evil smirk to it. Now the one I got, I did get these secondhand, and her glasses were a little bit off, so I had to kind of manipulate them a bit, so I'm not sure. I think they look okay, but when I first got her, this left glass piece was quite off. And then the third head that she gets, or the fourth head technically, is a gas mask head with a rebreather tube. Now I'm pretty sure these are episode specific. Unfortunately, it doesn't say which episode, but I'm assuming it's one of the first early ones, because that is where this design is from. As far as weaponry goes, she comes with this laser blaster. I think it's a laser blaster. Again, episode specific. I can't remember the episode. It's been so long since I've seen the episode. And she comes with a smaller pistol, kind of similar to the one that she used all the time on the show. And this is actually a repaint of the one, or this is the original version, which was repainted to go with the Red Jackal. The one which came with Red Jackal is actually in black plastic. The weird thing is, her hands are actually smaller because she's a female sculpt, and obviously the hands are smaller. And I do have Black Jackal here, or not Black Jackal, Red Jackal, my mistake. Red Jackal here, so it does look a little small. It's the same sculpt that they gave him, and it does fit his hand, but the handle is quite small. It doesn't actually go all the way through. Whereas if you have Destro's regular weaponry, or Red Jackal's regular, well, he doesn't come with any, or he does come with a pistol. If you have his pistol, it does fit him better. She does come with this gun, which is akin to what she came with in the original figure line, the toy line. It does have the strap that plugs in here, and for the life of me, I can't get it to really plug in on this side. It is supposed to have the strap. They've used this gun a few times for some of the upcoming figures. I think the next version of Baroness will have this. It does plug in. It doesn't seem to want to sit in properly on my version. It is a separate piece in the box, so it isn't actually part of the gun. Personally, I'll probably just leave the strap off and keep it aside. It doesn't make much difference. She does come with a pluggable holster that plugs into the side of her leg, and that does have a small pistol that fits into that. It just fits in her leg, or it fits in the holster, and there's a peg hole just on the one side of her hip, and it does press in. It's just a little bit, because it's a soft rubbery plastic, you just have to press it in right, and it does kind of fit in. I would imagine a lot of jostling or moving her around, it will just pop back out, but just be wary of that. She also comes with a knife and a dedicated hand for holding that knife. So there is a bunch of hands in the set. There is kind of the default hands, which is like the punching hands, trigger finger hands, punching hands, barrel grip hands, if you want to call them, or two-handed pose hands. She also comes with a few extra ones, one of which is this dedicated knife hand. As you can see, these are her trigger finger hands. One is a bit more longer than the other. This is a shorter trigger finger hand, which I believe is for this smaller pistol. Oop. It fits it way more snugger than the larger one, but she has the kind of wider trigger finger hands, which are for the bigger gun. She has the resting kind of barrel rest hand, so if you have her with the rifle, the stock of it will fit in nicely into that hand. Again, the hands do have hinges, and depending which one you have in, it goes in a specific way. And then she has this. Now this, I would imagine, is a very easily lost accessory. It may look like it's part of the same hand, but it's actually a separate piece. The little syringe part is actually a separate piece. It's not glued in place. At least that's the way it came with mine. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that on all of them, but I think looking at the way they display the boxes, or the things, the layout of the accessories in the box, it is a separate piece. And she does have a dedicated syringe hand. Again, I believe this is from a specific episode. I think it's what they're trying to use truth serum on either someone, a captured Joe. I think it's Duke, possibly. I could be wrong, but she does have a couple of dedicated hands with dedicated accessories. So I'm just going to pop out her hand. It is a little bit tricky to do first time out. I'm going to pop in her trigger finger hand. There we go. You just have to make sure it goes in. So if you have her rifle, I'm going to leave the strap off because it is a little bit cumbersome, but you can get her to hold her rifle quite nicely. She does hold it quite nicely, but again, just like with any of the other figures, if you have that, because it says she's proficient in an AK-47, if you have that McFarlane ammunitions pack, you can give her an actual AK-47, which is what is described on the box. So overall, height-wise, she does stand around 7 inches. And I'm going to bring in, well, I have Red Jackal here because my next review is for the other figure in Wave 2, which will be this guy. Her on-again, off-again partner in crime, aka Destro. So I will be reviewing Destro at some point, and then just for other lines that aren't G.I. Joe, we'll bring in the Keaton Batman from the Flash movie, because he's to hand. So these are 7-inch scale figures, so if you have stuff in 7-inch scale, they should stack up nicely. If I can, I don't think I have one to hand, do I? Unfortunately I don't. I was going to bring in one of my Predator figures, but unfortunately it appears I do not have one easy to hand. So instead of Predator, I'm going to bring in Shredder from Super 7's other Ultimates line, which is the Team NT Turtles Ultimate line. You can see Shredder's more cartoon proportions. His head is way more bigger than Baroness and even Destro's, but even still, you could get away with it. They don't look too badly together, and they are all based on cartoons. Oh, well, with the exception of Flash Batman, or Keaton Flash Batman. But all in all, you could get some really good shots with this. So she's a great figure. I know she mightn't be everyone's cup of tea with that blue uniform. If you are wanting a decent Baroness, there's 2 more coming up that haven't been released yet, that are on the way, and there's a black suit version of her with her traditional kind of black with grey accent, bluish grey or accents with the Cobra logo in the center, and then there's a repaint of that coming in, which is the Deke animation one, which was just announced at the time of this recording. It was just announced a couple of days ago, which is the all-female wave, which is getting a repainted version of Scarlet, a repainted version of Lady J in the Deke animation, where she had more brighter, or kind of a, she had brighter greens than she did originally, and kind of off turquoise colors. She was kind of turquoise and green. Scarlet is purple with the yellow instead of the kind of dark blue with the yellow, so they did change up the colors for that. And then the Baroness in that wave is kind of the similar blue, but with the Cobra logos and the more traditional look to her. So she's kind of like a mix of both worlds. She's kind of baby blue and dark blue mix paint scheme. But if you want to see them, just have a look on stuff like Big Bad Toy Store or on the Super 7 website. You'll probably see the images for the prototypes for them. But all in all, I do like this Baroness. And if you can get her, I would recommend picking her up. She's quite a good Baroness to have. And if you're a fan of all the different versions of Baroness, then go ahead and grab all the ones. But all in all, she's not too bad. So I hope you enjoyed this figure, I hope you enjoyed this figure review. And as always, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Cheers, guys.